Hey everyone. So, based on my Discord post, I mentioned I was going to make a YouTube video going over my thoughts on Bitcoin, and I'm going to do that exactly. But before I start, I just want to say these are my thoughts and my opinions. Nothing I say is financial advice. If you make decisions to sell your own bags because of what I said, that is solely on you. I am just telling you my plans, my thoughts, and how I'm going to be executing if and when these scenarios happen. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to jump into it. Might I add, my my thoughts and processes are raw. I will tell you things that you don't want to hear, things that paid group members, um, you know, Twitter, um, Twitter, crypto Twitter, these gurus or whatever, right, are not going to tell you. Okay, they always want you to hear the good side, or if we're in a bear market, they want you to hear the bad side. As a trader, you play both sides. You have no bias. I don't have a bias. I'm a trader. I'm not attached to my bags. I don't mind selling for losses, but for a lot of people, it's a hard thing to understand and to do. So again, my decisions are based on my own actions, and you must take accountability for your own actions. Okay? So let's just jump into it. So, as I mentioned in my Discord post, this 64.5 to 65K level is the most important level in my opinion. Why? If we were to zoom out, let's do the 3-day chart. We see that we put in a resistance here on the first all-time highs. Okay, we went down, came back, rejected. Okay, put in a deviation, went back down. Okay, rejected here again. Let's go back to the daily. Right, rejected. Then we broke out, flipped it, like we ran higher once we reclaimed this level. Came back down, retested, went back up to like 69K. Right, came back down, broke out, retested, went higher. Right, we broke down. This is all resistance. A little deviation there, broke down, turned this level into resistance, went down, rejected from resistance, went down. Then we had the breakout candle. There's the retest candle and hold. Then we went higher, and then now we're back. Okay. So if we lose this level, and by losing it I mean closing the daily below and confirming resistance just like we did here. Okay. I am seeing range lows. Okay. Bitcoin, and I'm going to get a different chart out here. Bitcoin is simply in the range, right? Here is your range highs, and here is your range lows. And you're going to treat it as such until proven otherwise. Okay. Now, I've mentioned how to play a range multiple times. I won't be going over that. But the amount of times that we bounce from support, or the amount of times that we touch resistance, the more it's happening, the weaker it's going to get. Okay. We've touched support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, little deviation, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So support is weaker than resistance in this case, right? Now back to this chart here. If we close and confirm that this important level turns into resistance, you are looking back down here at range lows. Now, as I mentioned, it's weaker. I personally am very, very cautious at this level because if we lose it, there's nothing stopping us from going to this daily demand zone here from 53 down to 50K. And if that does not hold, this is your next level of support. Okay, this weekly demand zone. Now, we can go down all the way here and still put in a higher low and still be in an uptrend. Okay, a lot of people don't tell you this, The bull market started once we broke out of here. Why? And I know I've mentioned this before, but for the servers that I'm in that haven't seen my videos, here was your range, right? We were putting in lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, right? Lower low. This was your last lower high. Okay, let's make that green. We broke market structure, right? We put in a higher high and a higher low here now. Now we have a new trend starting at this point. We broke above, inverse head and shoulders forming down here, put in another, right, higher low here. That is when the bull market started. This is not a bull, like we're still in a bull market, but this is where the bull market started. A lot of coins from this point back in, August or September or November of 22 have done a 6 to 10x from their lows. Okay? That is an alt season. Everyone thinks that an alt season is going to be, 100% to a 200% daily gains. No. Most of the coins already did that pump. And not to say they can't do it again, but most of the coins, again, pumped 6 to 10x from their lows. Link went from $5 to 22 or 23, right? That's a 4x. Bitcoin did a 3x, right? So, that being said, if we take a look at the last cycle, okay, most of the altcoins made their highs in this first wave, right? When we came down to the $30 region or the 30K region, this second wave up, most coins did not see all-time highs again. Okay? Some coins did, some coins didn't. Now, what if this leg up here is this leg? Okay? And I'm not going to say we're going to come all the way down here, but if we do, and we make another rally higher to, let's say, 100K this cycle's end, most coins may not see their all-time highs again. Okay? So you have to keep that in the back of your head as an investor, as a trader, right? You're not supposed to have a bias. As a trader, you're definitely not supposed to have a bias. But for long-term investors that bought down here or over here or over here, right? If you have good entries, then just hold. Hold until structure is broken on your coin. By structure, I mean, higher highs and higher lows. The uptrend is broken, and now you're making lower lows and lower highs. Okay? So, with that being said, let's go back here. I personally don't think that if we were to come back down here, we will see a strong reaction back higher. Okay? There's going to be a lot of fear if we break down below, and there could be a massive sell-off happening, and if this level here is lost, expect this move down to here. Now, today, we're having a good move on alts, and I'll explain why that is, but Bitcoin went down from, in a day, yesterday's candle went down about 4%, okay? And if I were to pull, for example, Sol went down 10%, 11% almost, okay? That is because of Bitcoin dominance, and I'll go over that chart in just a moment, but just imagine if, let's say we lose this level, and we go down to, that 50K region. If Bitcoin was down 3 to 4% and Sol was down 10%, all right? Let's, for the sake of math, okay, multiply that 4% by 5, make it 20. Multiply that 10% by 5, make it 50. Okay, Sol would theoretically go down 50% from this point, or from whatever point. Okay, and I'll show Sol only as an example for this. Okay, if Sol was to go down 40 to 50% down from here, this is your buy zone. And if that happens, if Bitcoin goes to 50 to 53K, this is where I'm bidding. I personally have bids from 86 down to 48 or 50 because who knows what's going to happen. Okay? Back to Bitcoin. I personally do have a play in this area, and this is the play. Okay, I mentioned this in the Discords. I've also mentioned this on my Twitter. We have a demand zone and order block. Okay. This would coincide with an ABC corrective pattern. Okay, within this wedge or bull flag, whatever you want to call it, this would coincide with there. My stop loss is a daily closure below 58.7, and I'm targeting the highs. Now this I'm going in with reduced position size. Okay. Because knowing what I know now and how weak Bitcoin is at range lows and how many times support has been tested, it's going to be a very risky play. All right, because if that doesn't hold, we're screwed. All right. Now back to Bitcoin. We are just range bound, and I expect this chop to continue from 69 down to whether 63 or 60K. I expect this to happen throughout the rest of summer. All right. If we were to take a look, and I mentioned this in my stream with one of the servers that I'm in, if we take a look at the bull cycle from 2020, here is May, right? We were just in a 18% range. Okay? That's all we had. 18%, which is 1,500 back then, right? Good old times. Here we are. Range from May through the end of August. And guess what? 18%. Okay? I expect this range to just be choppy until summer. Summers have historically, during bull cycles, been low volatility. Right? But a range is a range until proven otherwise. So you're going to continue to bid range lows until it fails. You're going to continue to short range highs or sell at range highs if you bought down here until it fails. You don't get into longs until range highs is flipped to support. So if this is your range highs, you don't long until we break out and flip it to support. That's only if we are consolidating under here. Okay? At mid-range, personally, I don't trade it. Okay? So it's just something to keep in the back of your head that if we go down, right, are you prepared for the worst situation or the worst outcome? Are you over-invested? Which brings us to Bitcoin dominance. Okay? And I'm going to show you the monthly first. Okay, this is crazy. Let's go back down to the daily. Why are alts pumping? Why is the market going up? Simple. Bitcoin dominance took out the highs here, grabbed liquidity, okay, and then started going down, right, which is bullish for the markets. This is why coins like Sol and altcoins are doing super well, and Bitcoin is just stable, right? Um, However, Bitcoin dominance is still bullish until we, lose 55% and turn it into resistance. I am not really convinced that we're going much higher. Bitcoin needs to flip, and I will go back to the level that is very important for Bitcoin to reclaim, and that is 67.2. Why this level? Okay. So, oops. Okay. Rejection. We broke out, flipped it to support, continued to go higher, right? We broke down, went down, broke out, higher. Every time we were above it and we flipped it to support, we went higher. Every time we were below and turned to resistance, we went lower, right? Breakout, retest, went higher. Back to retest support, went higher, right? Broke down, closed below, retest, turned into resistance, went lower. Rejected, went lower. So we need to get back above this level, and that is a trigger for us to, possibly long if we were able to flip it. It might be a deviation of the support. We go up, flip it, and this would be your signal basically for higher. Okay? Until that level is reclaimed, it's caution, right? So your levels right now that you should mark on your charts are the 64.5 to 65K level and the 67.2K. Now, we do have bullish divergences forming, right? Price making lower low, RSI making higher lows. Okay, so we have a bullish divergence forming. I think we see some upside. However, upside is not going to be, anything drastic where you see 10K candles over a week, but it's going to be choppy. Maybe a move back up to the 67.2K region. We have a giant order block here, right? This is very strong resistance. So we might reject and then continue to chop between 67.2 to 64.5K, right? But until this level is reclaimed, just urge some caution here, right? Now USDT dominance, we rejected from supply and order block, okay? I can see us going down to here. Maybe over the course of the next 3-4 months leading into the election, we do something like this, right? The more we go down, the bullish it is for crypto. And I can see us, right, here's the trend. Lose the trend line. We put in a head and shoulders pattern, which is a meme pattern, and it's sideways. But lose that, turn to resistance, right? Down to about 3.61%, which would send Bitcoin to probably its all-time highs and higher, and altcoins will get another 30 to 40% move from here. Now, with altcoins, right, like it's, yes, we're getting a move up. I'm only positioned in 4 coins at the moment, which is ETH, Sol, Dogecoin, and Injective. I have a very nice entry on Sol I provided to most of you. If profits are good for you, take it. There's no saying that bottom is in. Bottom can be 30 to 50% from here, like I mentioned, or this could be the bottom, right? It's very hard to tell at the moment, but as a trader, you like this is going to be a scalp um, type of a environment currently. We're far away from swing trades. It's more scalp trades. Okay, um, for and the lower the risk coins, the better the trades will be. Those low risk coins are going to be the high market cap coins. If you're trading small cap or shit coins, right, you're in for a good time to the downside probably if the market goes lower. Okay, the small caps and the micro caps get hit the hardest. So if you are going to be trading these, I wouldn't invest like 40-50% of your portfolio into them. I would only invest like 5 to 10%. Because if that pumps like 3, 4x, you're doing pretty well. A lot of people think that high risk, high reward plays are going to be the move. Not in a choppy environment. Maybe in an uptrend where it's just easy mode, but as long as we're chopping, you don't want to be in low caps or micro cap coins. So dominance took highs. We're coming back down to the trend line, but also to support. So I'd be cautious here. Bitcoin doing well. I think this could be a nice long opportunity. Long with stops below yesterday's low. Target about 70K, like swing trade wise or high wise. Your first TP will come at 67.2. But again, take profit as you see fit. Your 1 hour trade comes around 66.5. So this would be your long opportunity. Again, bullish divergence formed. That would be your play. Now, the other concerning factor is stocks and indexes are making all-time highs, right? ES all-time highs, SPY all-time highs, right? And Bitcoin is going down. Why is that the case? That is because the US dollar, and it's weird because if the dollar is bullish, these stocks and indices should be bearish. But we've had the dollar go against us, which we took out the highs here, right? We grabbed liquidity. This probably comes back down to this like back to mid-range. Here was your range. Mid-range and range lows. Okay. Here's the trend. As long as we're holding the trend line, it's bullish. Lose it. This comes much further down. We will have a nice little rally on altcoins, Bitcoin, whatever crypto you want to choose, besides your, low cap shit coins. Because most of these low caps, that went to $2 or $3 and now are back down to like, let's say 60, 70. I don't think those coins will get close to their all-time highs at the top of the cycle. If they do, it's going to be very brief. So pick and choose those coins very, very carefully. Okay. But that's basically it. Like right now, if I were to tell you a few coins that you want to leverage trade, and I mentioned this in my stream with a few discords, but I highly suggest you trade Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and LDO. All right, why LDO? LDO is an ETH beta, and if the ETH ETF does go live July 2nd, if ETH pumps, this will pump harder. What do I mean by that? So let's take a look. If today, right, at let's say 12 o'clock, LDO was here, right, it pumped 20%. Comparing that to ETH, at 12 o'clock, only 5%. So LDO is an ETH beta. If ETH pumps, LDO will pump harder. And the only four coins personally that I've been trading have been on leverage are BTC, ETH, Sol, and LDO. It's been reacting to TA perfectly. There's a lot of volume. There's a lot of volatility. Those are the three coins that I would pick instead of trying to spread yourself thin and over diversify into 10 different coins. All right. But yeah, so again, this is a very important level. Lose that level, turn to resistance. We're going to see range lows first. More we touch it, weaker it's going to be. I'm very cautious of this area. Stops are going to be, or taking longs down here should be with maybe half of your normal allocation in terms of size. So if you go in, let's say with $1,000 margin on leverage trades, maybe go in with $500 here, and then be prepared for every single scenario. 50, 53K, if we get it, that's where you're going to start scaling into coins. And then if that doesn't hold, your final DCAs come around 44 to 40K, which is the weekly demand zone. Okay. Keep an eye out on Bitcoin dominance, keep an eye out on this level, and keep an eye out on the dollar. And those will be your telltale, like, so quote unquote, signs on whether or not we go lower or higher. All right. Um, Going into election usually is good in terms of promises that both parties are going to make, and just survive the chop during summer. And once August comes or end of July comes, hopefully it gets easier. But always also keep in mind the fact that what if this is the cycle top? Are you prepared for it? Have a plan. My plan is to sell my bags if this level is lost, right? But bags that I bought multiple months ago, back early last year, that's what I'm going to be selling. I have only 4 short-term positions open, like I mentioned, but all my long-term investments, I'm up 5 to 6x. I will be selling once this level is lost here and turned into resistance. Okay, and I'll be loading up, as I mentioned, in this area first and in this area here. Okay, so that's it from me. This is my outlook on ETH on Bitcoin. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like button. It means a lot. Thank you for your support, guys. Thank you.